Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, Donald Trump, and Pop-Tart beer. That's what's trending this week. It is What's Trending Today on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Jennifer Horn. Let me introduce you to my lovely and talented, I guess lovely is not a great word for men.
Not lovely.
Handsome and talented co-host, Rob Marinko.
Thank you, Jennifer. You're so accurate.
It's nice to see you. I was not here last week,
and
I can't remember why. Do you remember why I wasn't here last week?
No, I know that I wasn't here.
You weren't either. I know we were both terrible, but we're here now. That's all that matters.
Let's make up for it.
I know. It's so funny that it's only a week ago and I can't remember why, the reason. But next week I will be out, so maybe this will be the Marinko show. What's trending today? We'll talk about it.
All right.
But it's a big day, nonetheless. Not only is it the start to Labor Day weekend, but there is a hashtag flying about Force Friday. Are you familiar with Force Friday?
I am not.
All right. So do you like Star Wars?
I don't.
What?
I think I saw the first one, and
I think I saw the first one.
It was fine, but I don't get all the hubbub.
Come on.
Really? I just thought it. Listen, you're either a fan or not, and I'm not.
Okay, so I'd kind of be just a step above you. I thought that I had seen only the first one as well. Well, it turns out as a young child I had seen all three, but they all sort of combined into one movie in my brain. And so a few years back, I was dating a fine gentleman who was really into Star Wars, and he asked me if I had seen them. I said, well, I think I saw one. And it turns out I had seen them all, but I had them all kind of mushed up. Mm-hmm. So I rewatched every single one, and at that point I became a fan. So I'm like a later in life fan of Star Wars.
Did he have all the VHS tapes of the movies in his mom's basement where he lived?
Of course. That's the only way I date him. Only if you live in mom's basement, with the VCR and a camera. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and a camera.
Yeah, and you have to go wink, wink. But I've never seen the prequels. I have not watched those. I don't want to ruin it. I feel like I'm a Star Wars purist. So I'm excited about the newest movie coming out.
That's fine. It's all Disney's making.
Well, that's right. Now
George Lucas is not involved, right?
He's not. And so we talked about Disneyland creating a Star Wars land a couple of weeks ago. Well, now the hottest toys have all been released. The Force Friday, which is this hashtag, is an event that went on September 3rd and 4th. It features nonstop live reveals of upcoming Star Wars The Force Awakens product lines on the official Star Wars YouTube channel. The reveals showed the latest gear, and it spanned 15 cities and 12 countries. These unveilings actually happened at stores, at retailers across the country, at Toys R Us, at Walmart, at Target, and certain stores that were participating had a lineup of people at midnight, a la Black Friday, of these people waiting as the stores put out these brand new toys. If you want a spoiler alert, here's your chance.
Yeah.
Never turn down the radio, but if you want, turn it down only for 10 seconds. There are going to be Nerf blasters, battle action toys, Hot Wheels play sets and character cars, costumes for kids, Force Awakens Big Figs, which are action figures, and Lego X-Wing fighters.
Well, here's the best part. If you stand in line long enough, you get a free membership to Match.com.
That's right.
Because you're going to need it.
Your
pal.
wife has officially divorced you.
Oh.
I know. Actually, our very own Eric Hines here at CRN went at midnight and stood in the line. He posted pictures up on his Facebook page, but his wife went with him. Funny thing was, he stayed in line at Toys R Us and dumped her at Target so that they could double their luck. Again, divorce is imminent.
No kidding.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about today.
We do.
I don't even
chock
know.
Full.
I know. I don't even know where to begin, but maybe we should start with Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. He was trending this week. It's what's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
There are two types of water heaters, thankless and tankless. The thankless kind work like this.
Mom, I'm throwing in the load of laundry.
Whoa, hold off on that. I'm hopping in the shower.
Is this a good time to turn on the dishwasher?
This is not a good time to turn on the dishwasher.
Rinnai's tankless water heaters, on the other hand, work this way.
I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
No problem. I'm hopping in the shower.
Rinnai's innovative tankless water heaters provide an endless supply of hot water whenever you need it, even for multiple tasks at the same time. Plus, they feature a space-saving design and ultra-efficient performance for monthly energy savings. So enjoy hot water that's always ready when you are.
Is this a good time to turn on the dishwasher?
Go for it.
And never discourage your children from washing dishes again. Rinnai tankless water heaters, the hot way to heat water. Learn more about Rinnai's industry-leading products at www.rinnai.us. That's RINNAI.us.
Usually in radio, this is like prime real estate. You know, they call it the top of the hour. This is sort of, well, it's not quite the top of the hour, but this is our first real news story of the day. And so this is where I should put the most prominent story of the week.
Yeah,
but
what is it?
You know what I'm going to do with that rule? Tossing that rule out the window because we have to talk about...
You're a maverick.
Just like Sarah Palin. Maverick. We have to talk about Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Do you remember? You're looking at me like I'm nuts.
No,
you don't remember Jimmy
no,
Superfly Snuka?
No, I don't.
So go back in time, back to the 1980s. Oh, look at your hair has a perm. You're wearing day glow.
I did for about a minute and a half.
I bet I could see you. I'm like
horrible.
being psychic with you today.
Oh.
I'm like picturing you and.
I look like the Brady's dad. Who was that guy?
Oh, Mr. Brady.
Didn't he have the perm, the goofy looking
he
perm?
did have a goofy perm.
Yeah, I did too.
His boyfriend liked it. Anyway, Superfly Jimmy Snuka was a wrestler in the 80s who, I loved wrestling, and I will admit, Jimmy Snuka I think was always a good guy, but I always rooted for the good guys. Never really loved Superfly. He was kind of, I don't want to say he was boring, but his storyline was always boring. He himself was actually a very world-class athlete. He was one of the first wrestlers who introduced the aerial technique to wrestling. He would get up on the top rope, that's the name Superfly, and he'd jump off at his opponents. That was his finishing move. He'd get up and knock him down. So he would do a lot of acrobatics, which is cool now because that's what almost all wrestlers are doing is this really, dramatic style. So he sort of started that movement. But apparently back in the 80s, he had this girlfriend. Yeah. And they were, I think, in Allentown, Pennsylvania, home of the Nasty Boys, by the way, another wrestling duo. I know way too much. And they got into some sort of altercation, and the woman ended up dead. So he told police that they were messing around, that they were just playing, that they were play fighting, and he accidentally pushed her down the stairs, and she died. Well, fast forward a few years. This is back in the 80s, again, 1983, I believe. Fast forward to today, this past week, authorities arrested him for the murder of that girlfriend because in his 2012 autobiography, Superfly Snuka he started talking about this event in his life, and he told the wrong story. He said that they were at a rest stop and that she was tinkling and she slipped and fell and died. And so these two different stories finally led police to believe that he had more to do with this than he originally let on. I think they probably always believed that. And so Superfly.
Will you stop doing that, please?
Oh, it was great. The rest of his theme song was horrible. It was just like this 80s, it sounded like 80s porn music, but Superfly was pretty cool. Anyway, so now he got arrested for manslaughter.
Isn't that something? 1983.
Yeah.
I love cold cases. My wife and I are addicted to
Cold Case Files?
Well, and there's a number of shows on Investigation Discovery. Mm-hmm. They have the Nightmare Neighbors, Wives with Knives, Swamp Murders. They've got great shows, and we've become sort of addicted. But I think that's amazing that you can have a decades-old murder, and then what trips them up is a book.
Yeah, they said it. I mean, he did it to himself. What can you say?
Oh, it's incredible.
Why wouldn't you? If you did something really bad, why don't you either never talk about it again, or write it down in detail so that you don't forget what you've told everybody?
Maybe,
I just don't understand how that happens.
And I'm not making light of the story, as I usually do, but it's a tragedy. However, you got to think that maybe there were head injuries or there were steroids
Definitely.
Or whatever. So maybe
probably on both accounts, yes.
Yeah, he doesn't really remember what happened.
Right.
Or his head's so scrambled that he didn't realize he was essentially confessing to the cops, hey, I'm changing my story, so you better look into this closer.
Yeah, because now this guy's in his 70s going through all of this stuff. Not that 70 seems old anymore. As we all get closer.
Yeah, you're right on the edge.
But But, you know.
70s.
All right. In other news, feminists, oh boy, they're all upset because of Kermit the Frog. Did you hear about this?
Yes, and feminists, I guess they're one of the complaining victim groups that if you just have nothing else to do, be a feminist, be an activist, be whatever. The world's pretty damn good for everybody. And
That's
listen,
a good point. It's fair.
But there's so much stuff not to get upset about.
I just don't know why people are getting upset by a publicity stunt involving Muppets. But hey, you know.
And that's a great point. It's a silly story, and people getting upset.
People are legitimately upset. This story was trending not just for one day, not just for 2 days, but for 3 days this week. It was trending on Twitter and
Muppets
Facebook.
should never trend for more than 5 minutes.
Look, this is the second time in a few weeks we've talked about the Muppets, so ABC is doing an excellent job of getting publicity for their show this fall involving the Muppets. But Kermit apparently has come out to deny rumors that the woman he's been spotted out with is his new love, but people are still outraged. Kermit has been spotted out and about with Denise, who is a younger, thinner, sexier pig than Miss Piggy. Although I still think Miss Piggy's fierce. I mean, please, of course I'm more of a Miss Piggy type myself. I like to wear jewels, sparkles.
You're nuts.
Denise looks a little more like, I don't know, she looks a little boring, a little flat.
Uh-huh.
A little flat, if you catch my drift. But people on Twitter went nuts about Kermit. They are upset. They said, that he's just fitting the mold of a typical man, dumping Miss Piggy for this newer model. And
a trophy Muppet, if you will.
A trophy Muppet. And so, yes, this is a big controversy. I can't even believe it. That this is actually what we've come down to, is talking about Muppet dating.
All right.
Now, speaking of dating and love. This story has been trending this week on social media on Instagram. There's a couple who have a blog called How Far From Home. And it's a travel blog where they're going around the world, and they use the hashtag Let's Get Lost, hashtag Wanderlust, and they post pictures from all these exotic locales as they're traveling the entire globe. They're traveling all the way around the world. Well, people have a lot of jealousy. Every time they make a post, oh, we wish we were you. Oh, my goodness. They've traveled like 26,000 kilometers already, which I think is a lot. 25,071 kilometers. I'd like that translated into miles, please. I'm one of those snobby Americans.
It's a long way.
But they're currently in Athens, Greece. Well, on Sunday, after all of this jealousy, all these posts, oh, my God, we wish we had your life, they made this really refreshing confession. They're like, look, we don't even like each other right now. We've been traveling together. We're low on cash. We have no income. We've made extra money cleaning toilets, scooping dog and cow poop, shoveling rocks in exchange for free food. They've been gone for 6 months, and they've only been sharing the good stuff. But I mean, they're living off of crackers and jam as they travel the world because they have run out of cash.
Yeah, well, that's what you get.
Is it?
How about a little plan? How about saving a little money? And don't come whining to us as you live this adventure that you thought would be painless and not planned properly for it. I don't want to hear about it. If you got to scoop poop and clean toilets and all that stuff, well, that's what you got to do because you want that experience. Don't complain.
I think, and you're the married guy here, but that's a lot of together time.
It's
a lot of stressful together time. But it goes to show you how on social media your life can look perfect. They have a lot of people who have Facebook envy, and you're watching your friends post pictures of beautiful babies
most of it's lies.
Or travel destinations or delicious food. Everybody has to scoop a little poop every once in a while.
Where's my pen?
You're going to make that
a
marker?
Got to scoop a little poop once in a while.
Up next, a lot transpired during the VMAs. We will tell you what made news on social media. It's what's trending today. Jennifer Horn, Rob Marinko on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Good afternoon, Mr. Phelps. Southern California is inundated with restaurants vying to vanquish Columbo's, and none have succeeded. Your mission, Jim, is to further enlighten the populace regarding Columbo's and their absolutely delicious steaks. Seafood so fresh it'll make you blush. Family Italian specialties that put the competition to shame. Jazz every night along with their world-renowned meatballs. The code words for this assignment, Mission Impossible. As always, should you or any of the force be caught, the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions, but looks forward to seeing you at that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's. This desk will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim, and manja.
What's going on in the financial world? This is Larry Elder. First, China's economy is booming. Then it's busting. Stocks are up 1,000 points one week, down 1,000 the next. The U.S. economy is recovering. Then, oops, maybe back into recession. For most of us working folks just trying to plan a solid financial future, it all seems so complicated today. But I've got some good news. I just read a simple report that makes sense of today's upside-down world in just 4 pages, entitled, What's Next for the Dollar? That's right, just 4 pages of simple common sense. And best of all, it's free by calling 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646. Listen to your elder. If you have money to protect, you must read What's Next for the Dollar. Get your free copy today. 800-289-2646. That's 800-289-2646 or at SwissAmerica.com.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618. 9618.
Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up.
The VMAs were trending big time this week. I'm Jennifer Horn. That's Rob Marinko. The VMAs, it's a Video Music Awards. In case, like me, you feel a little out of touch because I tried to watch the Video Music Awards, Rob, and never have I felt just so old and out of touch. I mean, there are just so many acts that I've never even heard of that perform on the stage.
I think the bar has been lowered sufficiently enough that anybody can get an
anybody
award.
With the YouTube video can go up
pretty
there.
Much.
Well, and another little bit of hypocrisy, just to let me get this off my chest.
Sure.
I'm not sure why the MTV people still are giving away VMAs, Video Music Awards.
They don't even do videos
anymore. I mean, 0 videos. Someone said, oh yeah, they do them overnight. No, they don't. I'm up overnight. I know what happens overnight. Guess what? It's just replays of like Catfish and Teen Mom, like of all their reality shows. They don't do any videos at all on MTV. MTV2, I think, still does music videos. So why are they still handing out these awards?
I haven't watched MTV in 20 years.
So
I have no idea what they're doing.
Well, their broadcast was down this year.
Which makes me really sound like an expert.
I know,
on
you're
the
like,
VMAs.
I haven't been 20 years I haven't watched. Is that Madonna still an up-and-comer?
Why is that geezer talking about the VM? He doesn't know what he was talking about. And it's absolutely true. But however, I am familiar with what's trending.
Right. You know the stories.
I know the stories. And I know that Kanye is going to run for president in 2020.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Even though he said he was high when he said that, but you know. So the ratings for the award telecast is down. They simulcast the awards on MTV, MTV2, VH1, and Logo. But it set a record on Twitter. So it had 8.3 million viewers in its first telecast on MTV. Last year it was 10.1 million. But they had 21.4 million tweets that reached 11.8 million people. So it was huge on Twitter. It was huge on Facebook, up 155% from previous years, their amount of social media activity.
That's amazing.
How do you do 155%?
I don't know. I mean, how... And
Can't you just, like, isn't 100% like the most you can go? 200%.
You're very funny.
It just seems like a lot.
Not particularly bright, but that is very, very funny. I love you. Now get out of here.
All right.
But seriously,
let's talk about Kanye, should we? Oh, go ahead.
If you must, it just. I've had a Twitter account since 2011. I don't know why I'm talking about this because it makes me sound older than I am. However, I think I've tweeted 3 or 4 times in 4 years.
That's it?
That's pretty much.
Get you going on Twitter.
Well, I don't know what I want to do with it. I guess I don't.
But you post so well on Facebook. And if you'd like to follow Rob on Facebook, by the way, facebook.com/Rob Marinko.
Yeah, I
or
think.
search Rob Marinko on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to be my friend, you're not coming to my house. But
I haven't even been to your house, and I've known you for a million years.
But if you want to be my friend,
I've been wanting to talk to you about
on Facebook, you can do that. Just search me.
Search Rob Marinko.
That's M as in Mary, ARINKO.
INKO. Oh.
I'll move on, please.
All right, Kanye West has announced that he is running for president in 2020. This guy, speaking of old, and this has been a theme this hour, speaking of old, Kanye went out and identified himself as a millennial. Breaking news, Kanye, you're older than I am, and I don't consider myself a millennial. Bro, you are not a millennial. I mean, I think it's cute that he's trying to pretend he's 24.
Yeah.
But, dude, you're getting ready to get the discount at Sizzler. I mean, come on. Come on.
Oh, man.
So he came out on stage, and he gave this weird, rambling, long Kanye speech.
Bro.
Everything
was bro.
Bro. So I felt like I was buying a car in Glendale. Anyway.
And the Biebs cried.
The Biebs cried.
Oh, that was touching.
I know. He's, oh, God. Anyway, so Kanye is out on stage. He says, and by the way, I'm going to run for the presidency. I'm going to run in 2020.
Knucklehead.
Total knucklehead. But even bigger knucklehead, there's some Republican activist guy on the East Coast who said, yeah. And so he formed a super PAC for Kanye already for 2020. Unbelievable. You know, people will donate to this. Kim Kardashian, they're going to have to fumigate the White House. I mean, give me a break. You really, I mean, are we going to do like the Kardashians from the White House? They have the Hamptons version of the Kardashians. Oh, holy moly. Now, what I thought was most exciting was Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus got into this war. Miley Cyrus, you know, she's up there talking about smoking pot and her lady parts are falling out of her dress. Nicki Minaj gets up there and is like, what's good, Miley? Which apparently is like, yo, I hate you. But what's good,
I
Miley?
say that all the time.
You do? What's good, Rob?
Yeah, what's good?
Does that mean something? It means like, producer Jose is like, what's up? Like, what's your problem? Right? All right. Thank God we have someone young on staff. Just throwing things at the radio going, what's good, Jen and Rob? Up next. A little political news for you.
Oh, really?
What's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Do you owe the IRS money? Do you have years of unfiled returns? Has the IRS garnished your wages or put a lien against your house? The IRS has the power to make you pay back what they claim you owe and will stop at nothing to collect. If you are losing sleep over your IRS tax problem, there is a solution. Call Signature Tax now. Speak with our professionals and feel the weight of your tax burden lifted from your shoulders. Call 800-543-1427 for your free and confidential analysis on ending your tax nightmare. We can help get your life back on track and give you the fresh start you deserve. Our A-plus BBB rated tax resolution team has over 125 years of combined experience to get you the best deal possible while stopping the IRS dead in their tracks. Call Signature Tax now at 800-543-1427. Call 800-543-1427. Again, that's 800-543-1427. 800-543-1427.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach. Footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you'll never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zebblies, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
Andro 400, I really love it. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. It feels like I'm 25. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man.
Guys, if you'd like to see results like Dave Ryan's, try Andro 400, the safe, inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435, 888-400-0435.
Are you looking to increase the number of calls you receive at your business? Well, CRN Talk is introducing a new way for customers to reach you without having to remember your phone number or your website address. Customers simply dial pound 250 from their mobile phones and say your business name. That's it. They'll be directed immediately to your phone line and receive a text message with a link to your website and phone number. It's that easy. It works so well that we're using it in this commercial. To sign up, dial pound 250 and say get my keyword. That's pound 250 and say get my keyword.
Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up.
It's what's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Jennifer Horn. That is Rob Marinko, and we were just talking, Rob, off the air about Periscope. We will be Periscoping the last segment of this show, so if you are on Periscope and in the next few minutes here towards the top of the next hour, you want to check it out on Periscope, please do that.
This is something started by World War II sailors when they were in their subs. They put up the, no?
Periscope down?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
Okay. That's kind of silly.
I like it. I like it. Now, you can also get that on our Twitter feed. So I'm at Jennifer Horn, and we'll put the Periscope up there as well. So if you want to join us, you can do that in just a few minutes here. We'll tell you when the magic moment is. Now, before we get into some political news, and this is political all of its own, I suppose, Tom Brady.
Yes.
Oh, boy. Tom Brady was in trouble for Deflategate. It's been trending on social media for months now.
Sometimes cheaters prosper.
Sometimes they do. A federal judge this week erased his 4-game suspension, and that was all his punishment for these underinflated balls that he was playing with against the Colts, even though they would have beaten the Colts in that game, whether or not he was playing with the snowball.
Well, here's the deal. Pete Rose, been on a baseball now for decades.
Travesty.
Admitted that, he broke the rules.
Right.
Broke the rules. He will never be in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Because of it.
Yeah, I mean.
Although, I don't know, maybe.
Maybe there's a movement.
They let him at the end of the All-Star game.
But the bottom line is that he has suffered because people look at that as, there's always that. I mean, listen, I love Pete Rose and the way he played. Everybody that knew baseball, appreciated Pete Rose and the way he hustled and everything.
Talented guy, yeah.
But here you got a guy that's handsome, popular, Super Bowl champ. Let's face it, there's a double standard, and Tom Brady can do anything he wants.
Based on his looks, you think?
Based on everything. Maybe because of what's trending with Tom Brady. In other words, if he is a superstar through all media now, sound like Howard Stern, maybe you get a pass.
Maybe you do. I mean, look, I think that you may have something. The fact that he is sort of a golden boy. I have always said I don't really care about this penalty so much. And it's not because I love the Patriots, and it's not because I love Tom Brady. I used to love the Patriots, and then they started winning. So then I always go for the teams that don't win.
Right. Tom
Brady, everybody's like, oh, well, you just think he's handsome. Well, yeah, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful man, but he's almost too beautiful for me, so it has nothing to do with that. Like, I feel like I don't like to, I don't know. Men that are that beautiful, I'm not attracted to for some reason.
Well, you
know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like him a little messy. I don't know.
I've heard that from women.
You know what I mean?
It's a funny thing.
Messy.
He's almost like he's pretty.
It's just, it's like a little too much.
I get all that. I get that.
So don't think that there's any motives here. I just never thought it was that big of a deal. What I have learned from this story, however, because I've talked to Fred Dreyer, who does a show here on the network, and he said every quarterback has something that they do that makes it easier for them to throw the ball. Whether that's an inflation thing, whether it's like some, like a balm or a lotion that they might put on their hands, or that it's a glove. Something happens where they do something to make it easier to throw the ball. I don't understand why the NFL gives control to the teams to bring their own balls to the game. Here's your solving of the problem. Major League Baseball, the umpires control the balls. Right. In football, why isn't it that why isn't it that the officials are watching over the ball? I don't understand why you get to bring your own balls to the game.
Here's the deal with that.
Stupid.
Well, here's the thing. Don't make rules if you're not going to enforce them. Just don't do it. Maybe enough people, there's a consensus among football fans, football players, coaches, and the league that maybe they can review this and go, you know what, the balls don't have to be 12.5 pounds pressure. Maybe you're allowed 3, whatever. But you know what's going to happen? As soon as they say that, then the quarterback's going to push it to 11 pounds or 10.5. Because that's what athletes do. They do it in NASCAR. They do it in every sport.
Well,
I'm just saying that
cold, it's easier to grip when it's got some give.
Listen, I think it's just the opposite. But anyway, that's beside the point. But every sport has rules, and they're rules because if you break them, it gives you some sort of advantage. Listen, if there were not an advantage to having deflated footballs,
that's true.
Tom Brady, being as great a quarterback as he is, wouldn't do it.
Right. It's true.
So the reason he's doing it because it gives him an advantage. Did it help him win the game? Probably not.
But it's still giving you.
But maybe it helps him in other areas, psychologically, whatever.
Definitely psychologically,
physical, whatever. However it helps. The point is, if you have rules like no gambling on the sport or whatever, enforce the rules or don't have the rules
all across the board.
But Pete Rose gets penalized, Tom Brady doesn't. This. A
lot of hypocrisy. Now, I will tell you one reason why I was ecstatic that this judge overturned the ruling. Because for the first time ever, I am playing fantasy football. And in my league, running backs get a lot of points. I had the number 1 pick. I got drawn to be number 1.
Oh.
And so I immediately was going to either go for Andrew Luck or Aaron Rodgers, right?
Uh-huh.
And everybody's like, no, you need to get a running back. Because they're the ones that bring the most points, and the quarterback really inconsequential, doesn't really matter. So against everything that I had in my body, I passed up my chance at Andrew Luck and Aaron Rodgers, and I got Eddie Lacy as a running back from Green Bay. And so that was my number 1 pick. Great. Okay. As the draft goes on, I don't get to go again until 20 or 21. By that time, everybody in front of me has gotten a running back and a great quarterback. So there's kind of like the middle of the pack quarterbacks. There's Phillip Rivers, there's Matt Ryan, there's Stafford, there's Eli Manning. So I'm like, well, I'm not even going to rush now to get a quarterback. These guys are just kind of, decent quarterbacks. They'll still be there. Everybody's already gotten the great quarterbacks. So I don't draft a quarterback until like the 8th round of our draft. And I knew at that point that the people drafting ahead of me were going to pick Tom Brady as a backup. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to pick my backup quarterback first, Tom Brady, and then pick up another quarterback down the road to play until Brady would be back from his suspension.
Look at you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So not messing around. So I have Tom Brady and Eli Manning.
That's not bad.
I don't think it's bad.
That's not too bad.
Guess who's starting? TB. All right, we totally blew our whole political segment, but I promise we're going to have a little debate news because Carly Fiorina was trending.
I am so happy about Carly Fiorina.
Yeah.
This is great.
Big news. So we're going to talk about that, little Trump news as well. And then in our entertainment reports, Dancing with the Stars, the cast has been revealed. And they're using the term stars loosely once again.
Half the people, I'm not going to.
You're not going to say,
I never heard of him. Where's my walker?
Get off of my lawn, you kids.
Actually did that the other day.
Did you? You yelled at someone to get off your lawn?
I was joking.
Wow.
Stabbed him. Mini nuts.
You know.
Yeah.
It's what's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
I spend my days helping others. It's rewarding, just not always financially. So I got TIAA CREF. They were founded to help people like me meet our financial goals. They've got so many industry accolades, it's unreal. I like taking care of people. Sometimes that even includes myself.
Intelligent investing for the long term. Just what you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA CREF Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. This testimonial is an act of portrayal. Investing involves risk. Individual results will vary.
It's fall flooring season with incredible deals on the hottest styles right now at Lumber Liquidators Fall Flooring Kickoff Sale. Choose from over 400 great floors with over 20 laminate styles like American-made mahogany for just 49 cents a square foot. More than 30 bamboo floors like carbonized bamboo for only $159, and over 150 hardwood floors like pre-finished gun stucco for only 99 cents. With $1 off Bellowood, 20% off Dream Home laminates, plus great floors, wood-like tile, vinyl, and more. With 24-month special financing, the Fall Flooring Kickoff Sale is going on now. Visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Big news for the Carly Fiorina campaign. She used social media to her advantage, Rob. She went on Twitter, she went on Facebook, she did some online petitions because she was going to be left out of the main stage of the next debate on September 16th on CNN because of the rules. They were going to use polls from before the last debate to get an average of where the candidates stood. Now Carly's surging in the polls, wanted those numbers to be used, and CNN, and I think rightly so, acquiesced, and they have invited Carly Fiorina onto the main stage. She'll be one of the candidates, most certainly, during that September 16th debate.
Well, that's smart by CNN. It's a good decision. She's surging in the polls, as you said, and I think it's important to have her. It was they were stupid rules, first of all, following weeks old, if not more than a month old.
From July through September.
The polling now is it's practically daily.
Yep.
And news events change. So the bottom line is, yes, I agree. I think they should cover her. They should add her to the debate, which they've done. And personally, I like her. I think she's interesting.
Very interesting. She's sort of like
another
a Trump light.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that now because the trending politicians are Trump, obviously, who's killing everybody, Ben Carson, and Carly Fiorina.
And maybe Ted Cruz in some
And maybe
polls.
Ted Cruz. But all of those four people that we just mentioned are considered anti-politicians.
Love it.
Even Ted Cruz, being a U.S. Senator,
you got it,
is still like the anti-politician because people are tired of the same old thing. Doesn't even matter. Democrat, Republican alike, it's the same old thing. They get up there and they just kind of go on and on and on about all the stuff they think you want to hear.
It's all so safe.
Yeah.
And I think, the RNC was not excited about the fact that CNN changed the rules because they can't believe this backlash towards the establishment candidates. I mean, I think they thought Jeb Bush was going to sail.
Yeah.
And
Jeb Bush is going to be I just talked to a friend just the other day and he says, I still think that Trump is going to disappear. And that, because here's where Trump is where Giuliani was back a few years ago.
Surging all
Everybody
way.
thought that was going to be our candidate, everything else. And the candidate, I'm sorry, I'm a Republican, so I said our candidate. But I think what you're seeing now is a little bit different. I think people are really tired of that politician.
There's so much fatigue, especially coming off of the last election when there was a huge mandate by people in this country and they switched over who was in charge in the Senate. And the Republicans had gone in with all of these promises. Then they get into the Senate and they don't do a darn thing. And Mitch McConnell and John Boehner sit there and kind of just rest on their laurels, and people are sick of it. And, people pay more attention than I think than the politicians give them credit for. And I think there's just so much fatigue that it's going to be it's going to be one of these alternative candidates that are at least going to get really far into the race. Now, granted, we have a long way to go. I've heard this rumor spinning that Mitt Romney may be brought in because Jeb Bush just isn't catching on with
I hope
people.
Mitt doesn't do it.
I hope not either.
He's a two-time loser. He's a great guy. I think he's a wonderful
too nice,
man.
Though.
He's too nice, and he's a politician.
Plus, he apologizes. The thing that people love about Donald is Donald's like, yeah, I'm rich. So what? Somebody like Mitt Romney's like, yeah, well, I'm rich, but he's apologetic all the time. So, now let's talk about the kiddie table debate for a second, because now that Carly's out of that, it looks like you're going to probably have maybe 4 candidates, most likely 3. I think this is a great opportunity for people who are not so great in the polls right now to catch some attention. Bobby Jindal probably the biggest pick, because I think you have to have some paid staffers to be an eligible candidate for debate. So I don't think Rick Perry's going to make it to the stage. He's lost all of his paid people.
In Iowa right now, you're absolutely right. Just yesterday I heard an interview with Perry, and he talked about, I want to thank our wonderful volunteers, because the question was asked directly to him, do you have any paid staffers in Iowa or the other states coming up? And he said, I want to thank our volunteers. Right. And the answer is no, he doesn't.
The answer is no. He's lost a lot of money. And so I don't know that they're going to be on that I don't know that he'll even make it there, which means that the Perry campaign is pretty much over. And it's too bad, because I actually like Rick Perry, but it's just not working out this time around. So you're going to have Bobby Jindal, you'll have Rick Santorum, Lindsey Graham, maybe Pataki. They didn't even invite Jim Gilmore.
Good.
Which I think is an outrage. I think it's horrible.
Jim Gilmore is between a 1, a half a 1, and a 0 in polls.
But it's like, come on. If you're a piece of it and it says the under 1%ers hit the stage, even if you've got a goose egg, even if you're negative and people are like, I hate Jim Gilmore, you should still be, and that's the rule. You should be up on the stage.
Well,
I think we should allow everybody in. All right.
Oh, you're wrong.
I know.
All right, let's move on.
Donald Trump going to the Tonight Show next week. Mark your calendar, September 11th. Joe Biden, who's come out and said he just doesn't know if he's emotionally ready to run for the presidency, will join Stephen Colbert on September 10th on The Late Show. Now, speaking of The Late Show, it starts next week. It's going to be a big story. Stephen Colbert taking over for David Letterman. And Jeb Bush is going to be one of his first guests the first evening of the show.
No, I don't know if that's smart.
Jeb Bush got a ticket for, I guess, to give to whoever he wants to come with him. It's a VIP ticket to the Late Show. Jeb Bush got a brilliant idea and said, you know what, we're going to auction this off for a $3 donation. You can take this ticket and you can come be my guest at the Late Show. And how cool, even if you don't like Jeb Bush, being at the Late Show for the first night as Stephen Colbert takes over. So cool.
I'd do that.
Well, Stephen Colbert is like, wait a second, Governor. You can't do that. He's like, it's a great idea, money making all the way, but you didn't ask me if it was okay if you made money off of my first show. I want my piece. So
he's got a lot of nerve.
He created
Colbert's going to make a lot of money off Bush being there.
But he created his own contest, so everybody can donate for $3 or more, and then they'll get a chance. They'll win a ticket, airfare, and hotel. So Jeb Bush, very funny, went on Twitter and said, "Oh, I thought I was going on the show with Amy Schumer." He said, quote, "I totally blew it, but since it's you, we're lowering our contest fee to $1. I think that's pretty fun.
That's great.
At least Jeb's playing a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to go
He needs to play a little. All right, up next, Pop-Tart Beer and Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
What's trending today on CRN Digital Talk Radio?
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. the heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The Doug Stephan Good Day program, early morning radio, and I guess it is radio, although it's radio on TV because this is CRN Digital Talk. You can find out what's going on in the world. We talk about the issues of the day, the events of the day, the people that people are talking about. We have an interesting way of looking at the news and having a little fun with the issues. So if you want to have some fun, learn a few things, and get up on the right side of the world, Doug Stephan's Good Day program, weekday mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
If you'd like to see how sausage is made, you could go on Periscope right now, search Jennifer Horn, and you will be watching behind the scenes. You'll see what's going on in the studio, Rob Marinko and Jennifer Horn. It's our final segment, so lots to cover still. So if you're on Periscope at Jennifer Horn, you can watch us right now. All right. Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Or Dancing with the Semi-Stars.
Something. Dancing with people that maybe you haven't heard of.
Yeah. They've announced their new cast. So for 2015 fall season, this is season number 20 something or other. They've announced Paula Deen, who's quite the controversial figure.
Right.
Before all that N-word stuff, I really did like her. She reminded me of my grandmother from North Carolina. She, cooked everything with butter.
Although, in her press release, I think she kind of blew it again.
Oh, no. What did she say?
I'm not going to dance with any dark people.
Stop it! She did not say that!
Well, maybe she could have.
But
okay, maybe she
did not say that.
All right.
She's lost a lot of weight. She got diagnosed with diabetes, and she looks awesome. I saw a picture of her. She's busty, but she's really skinny. The rest of her is very skinny.
Wasn't that going to make her topple when she does? Because you're dancing, you're moving around, and if you're...
I think she's going to be just fine.
All right.
Tamar Braxton, also of reality show fame, the sister of Toni Braxton.
Oh, the sister of Toni Braxton's going to be on?
I know. Kim Zolciak-Biermann, she is the...
Go ahead, explain
person
it.
On Real Housewives of Atlanta. I actually know this one. She also is the singer of, I know what's running over and over on your iPod, the song Tardy for the Party.
Right now. I've got it in this ear. This ear's the show, and I got Tardy for the Party.
Tardy for the Party on replay all the time. So they'll be joining. Now, this is the one that's really cool. U.S. servicemen who helped stop the gunman on that Paris-bound train a couple of weeks ago, Alex Skarlatos. And this obviously was a last-minute get for Dancing with the Stars because no one knew who he was until a few weeks ago.
So perfect.
I'm glad they added him to the cast. That'll be fun. Gary Busey, who is just a nut, is going to be joining the cast. He's 71 now. Now, here's where we get a little vague. Andy Grammer. He's a singer known for his hit, Honey, I'm Good.
Well, it's not as good as Tardy for the Party.
That's
but,
right.
Yeah.
It's still a hit. Bindi Irwin, who is the daughter of Steve Irwin, who, by the way, this is the anniversary of his death back in 2006. She's 17 years old right now. Beautiful girl. Still working with animals in her father's memory. And so she'll be on the stage. Victor Espinosa, he's the jockey for American Pharoah.
Sure.
Who got the Triple Crown. My favorite, Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys.
Wow.
Yes,
Nick Carter.
Baby, Nick Carter. He's going to be joining Hayes Greer, who is a 15-year-old social media superstar, got famous on Vine from North Carolina. Chaka Khan. You know Chaka Khan.
Yeah, Chaka Khan, yeah.
She'll be joining. That'll be a good one. She's only 62, so it's good. I thought she was a little older. And then Alexa and Carlos Penavega. Alexa Penavega is an actress from Spy Kids, and her husband, Carlos Penavega, is a singer with Big Time Rush. Dancing with the Stars coming back on September 14th to ABC. And quickly, before we get out of here,
yes,
I know that you like an occasional adult beverage. You like a beer every once in a while, don't you? Well, guess what?
Yes.
Bacon was the latest trend, the newest trend. Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
There is a new beer that is coming out.
Oh, please.
That is Pop-Tart inspired. San Francisco brewer 21st Amendment has created a toaster pastry / beer hybrid, and it's going to be on shelves. It's also Colorado's Black Bottle Brewery is doing Count Chocula beer.
Stop it.
Another
it's beer. Stop making it
beer infusion.
Weird.
It is kind of weird. But I will tell you, I love pumpkin beer, and it's the fall. Pumpkin beer is coming. It's the only foofy beer I like.
It's the fall of Western civilization.
Oh, please. Suck it up, Rob Marinko. I'm going to buy you a Pop-Tart beer after the show.
Will you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully it's cherry. None of the other flavors. Did you ever eat Pop-Tarts?
Strawberry.
No, I never liked it. I like cherry or the chocolate.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had a Pop-Tart in 100 years, by the way. All right, that's going to do it for us. We've got to get out of here. Check out our podcast, crntalk.com/what's trending today. We'll see you next time, everybody. For Rob Marinko, I'm Jennifer Horn. Thanks for listening.
Which was most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in